Hi guys, it's Karina, also known as WoW Gal. WoW Gal, and today I'm going to be doing a fact video that you may or may not have known about the game. And some of these I just discovered recently and others I actually experienced myself, so here we go. If warlocks cast detect invisibility in the runes of Lordaeron or in Ravenhill, which is in Duskwood, they can see invisible level 50-ish mobs, which can only be seen with this ability, and they were added so that way Alliance warlocks could farm shards while in Stormwind. In Alpha, there was a profession called survival skills, and it was used for making campfires and torches, and those torches were used for scouting. Back then the graphic engine was a lot different. Dark areas such as Duskwood were like extremely dark, like super dark, and you couldn't see anything past 20-30 yards in front of you, so you had torches to help you look around the area a lot better. And there are still some NPCs today in Duskwood that hold torches. Cataclysm was in development before Wrath of the Lich King was even released. If you lower the music and raise the ambient sounds and you walk into the throne room in the Undercity, you can actually hear little bits and pieces of the conversation Arthas has with his father before he kills him. And there are also, in the tunnel before the Undercity throne room, there are rose petals on the floor which were thrown to Arthas before he killed his father, and there is blood on the floor from Tyrannus's bloodied crown when it fell. You can also increase the ambient and lower music in the Ravenhill catacombs and the caves and crypts, but I will not tell you what you hear because you have to find that one out for yourself. It's kind of creepy, depending on how you look at it. The light paths used to not be connected, so you had to like click and pick every next place you fly to after you'd stop. In the planning stages of Wrath of the Lich King development, they had three designs for a hero class. There was a Necromancer, a Rune Master, and a Death Knight. But they basically kind of combined all three, which basically made Death Knights being able to do Necromancer abilities such as corpse explosions and diseases, and then the Rune Master abilities, which is related to their rune system, their rune resource system, which is why I will never ever see these two other classes since they're basically Death Knights. There is a huge smiley face below Karazhan. During the original WoW Alpha, Sholomith used to actually be an elite outdoor area, probably around the area where Sour Hill is now. But since they made it so big and so amazing, they decided to make it an instance. At the beginning there were shields and bucklers. Rogues and hunters used to be able to use bucklers, but they realized it was not an okay idea, so they kind of took it away from the rogues and hunters. But bucklers do still exist in WoW, but they're shields. But they're classified as shields now, so the original design back before even Alpha was even created, Horde and Alliance each only had 100 quests they could only do. Human and orcs were the first races Blizzard ever created, which is probably why they're at the top. Like humans and orcs and everything else was under them. Human females and orc males had different designs, and you will probably be a little terrified if you have ever seen the female troll when they were in Alpha. Goldshire used to actually be a lot bigger. It was actually about the size of an actual village, but Blizzard realized that they couldn't make all the other starter areas that big, so they took away a lot of the villages to help balance it out. Blizzard said that in vanilla WoW, many times that Shadowfang Keep was by far their favorite instance and spent so much time on it, but I hate Shadowfang Keep personally. Like, I'll run it once and then I'll just be like, ugh, I get over it. Before Blood Elves were even added to the game, Alliance outnumbered Horde on many servers, which I can totally believe that one. At the vanilla release and in the following months, due to overcrowded servers, players often found themselves in the infamous loot lag, which is basically you're stuck in the looting position for anything. Let's say you're gonna go loot a body, you're stuck. You're gonna go herbalize stuff, you're stuck. You're gonna go skin something, you're stuck. And I've experienced the loot lag many times, and I fly around like a retard because just it sucks. In the statistics tab of the achievement window, you can vaguely see a picture of Nozdormu in the background. You have to look extremely carefully though. I know this one by heart because I experienced it. You had to run on foot till level 40 because mounts couldn't be attainable until level 40, so there were no level 20 mounts, and they were a lot more expensive back in the day because you made gold so much faster and easier, and then once you hit level 40 you had so much gold you could buy your stuff. Now it's so cheap. Ridiculous. Resilience didn't exist, so PvP gear and PvE gear could easily be swapped out. Paladin and Warlocks mounts used to take 150 mana to summon. The longest arena season was Season 8, which lasted 37 weeks, and the shortest seasons were 4 and 5. Most players consider Season 2 to be the best, except for Red Paladins, and Season 5 to be the worst season because when Death Knights were released, they were extremely OP. They had the talent Shadow of Death, I think, and they which turned them to a ghoul when they died, and it was still even used in Arena. And also 5 words, Glyph of Death and Decay. There were also no paid character transfers, so you basically had to re-roll when you wanted to play on a different server, no matter how highly geared your characters were. Night Elf Hunters were by far the most hated race and class combination. So if you had one in your pug group, especially one named after Legolas, the chances for you to succeed were very small. There was a character progression system called Path of the Titans, planned to be released during Cataclysm, but it was cancelled. It was supposed to be heavily linked with the archaeology and was very big and complicated. I'll post a link on where you can read it. Maybe you can read more about it. It's on a WoW wiki. When race change features were released, many Horde players rushed to change their characters to Undead. A few days later, Blizzard announced that the major nerf to Will of the Forsaken, which left many players heartbroken, which was amazing timing on Blizzard's side. Blizzard had to actually bulk up Blood Elf males because they used to be so much slimmer than they are now, which is kind of hard to imagine that since they're if you died from jumping off Blood Venom Post in Fellwood, you would appear at the closest graveyard in Darkshore. Although the graveyard is pretty close to your corpse, the only way to reach it was to go all the way through Darkshore, Ashenvale, and Fellwood, which means you are going to run for about 20 minutes, making it the longest corpse run in-game. Low-level Night Elves had to run through wetlands, Loch Modan, and Dungmarog to reach Ironforge without a mount. A bit north of Goldshire, there is a house with skinning and leatherworking trainers. On the second floor of this house, you will see 6 kids forming a pentagram, silent and unmoving, which is kind of creepy. They will occasionally move out of the house to walk or run into pentagram formation. In the house around 7:40 a.m. server time, the sound file will play something, "You will die," and they despawn around 8 p.m. server time. There is an island called Game Master Island, which was designed to serve as a hangout spot for the Blizzard Game Masters. It is located very far northwest, I believe, of Teldrassil, surrounded by the unmapped space between itself and the main continent, making it completely impossible, contrary to popular belief, to even reach without exploiting it. Although there are many rumors of GM Island and many exaggerations, it is now simply a place for the Game Masters to log in, log out, and be able to teleport to certain areas. And the Guild Masters don't even discuss the area. There's also an area below, which is like a, I don't know, like a jailer room, and you can't really scale the walls like you can do normally. And basically, the Game Master would talk to you in that room about stuff that you did. Also, one more extra fact that I just thought of at the top of my head that I experienced. There is a cave in Dunmarog that if you walk into it, you will enter the general chat for Silithus. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's basically all the facts I have today. Make sure you click the subscribe button and leave comments below, and send me questions and stuff, and I'll definitely answer. I am completely 100% WoW gal. And so, thanks for watching. Bye.